Hello everyone, my name is Eniola from I Speak Yoruba Too. How are you all doing today? Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're a new subscriber, thank you for joining the community, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. Have you ever been in a situation where you're having a conversation with a Yoruba person and all of a sudden you draw a blank? You just can't remember anything else. You know this word, you've learned it a long time ago. But now you want to have a conversation and you're like, where is this word? I know it is somewhere there in my head. What happened? I can't remember. If this is your struggle, then you're watching the right video, because in this video I'm gonna be teaching you 5 tips to help you remember Yoruba words a lot easier. Let's go. When we learn a language, it is always our aim and goal to be able to communicate with people naturally without having to struggle, to be able to tell people, express ourselves. But it's not always easy. Life takes a toll on us and we don't remember these words that we've learned. So I'm going to give you 5 tips today to help you remember what you learn in Yoruba, the Yoruba words. Okay? The first tip is learn what you need. Yes, learn just what you need. How do you know what you need in a language, especially in Yoruba? So you need to assess yourself. Am I a beginner learner? Am I an intermediate Yoruba speaker? Am I an advanced speaker? Shout out to all of my advanced learners out there. Okay. When you assess yourself and you know where you are, you'll be able to recognize and understand what you need. And this will help you to know the kind of words that you need to be able to remember them easily. For example, if you're a beginner learner, you don't have a business learning words like "igbalode." You're not going to be using it. And if you don't use words, you forget them, which is the second tip we're going to be getting into. As I said, learn what you need. I'm a beginner learner. I need to learn greetings. I need to learn how to make simple conversation with other people. These are the words that you would need to learn. I'm an advanced learner. Oh, okay, so I can do a bit more advanced words. Okay. Tip number 2 is use what you learn. It is absolutely important that you create opportunity to use the words you've learned, because if you've just learned them and you don't use them, what is the point? There is a saying that says the knowledge you have is not what is important, but what you do with that knowledge is what matters. What is the point of learning 1,000 Yoruba words if you don't use them? That's more like a waste of time and waste of energy. So make sure you use what you learn. And if you already know what you need, it will be easy for you to use them. For example, as a beginner, you learned greetings, ekaro. Why do you think you never forget that word, ekaro? Because you use it all the time. Every time you see a Yoruba person, you have to greet them. So it has to happen morning, afternoon, night, evening, whenever. Ekaro, ekasan, ekaleo, ekabo. Those words, you use them all the time because you need them. The more you use them, the more it stays in your head. Try as much as possible to use these words you've learned. For example, say you've learned the word soon. Soon in English is to sleep. So you need to use that word soon in every communication you have that is related to sleeping. I want to soon. You don't have to be perfect. You're learning, you're in progress, and what is more important is that you're growing in that process. So the more you use this word, the more it will stay in your head and the more you would remember them. Okay? I want to soon. Mo fẹ́ sùn. I want to sleep. So even if it's just the soon that you remember, she wants to soon. We soon. They soon. People will laugh at you at first. That's okay. Nobody is perfect at the beginning. Everybody worked towards something. So tip number 1 and number 2 works hand in hand. Learn what you need and use what you learn. Tip number 3, make it accessible. This is important as well. All of the words that you've learned and you know you need them, make them accessible. We will always forget, that is not a problem. But you need to create opportunity to help you remember this word. You know, the world has become a lot easier now with technology. You have a lot of things on your phone that can help you make words accessible. So get that note out of your phone, write down the words that you already know, okay? Not new words that you have to go and look up in the dictionary to find the meaning. Write down the Yoruba words that you already know, and out of these words, make sure you take one of them every day. Use it in many sentences as possible. Try and repeat them to yourself until you're confident to knowing them. And also, use a flashcard when you're at home, or use sticky notes and make it correspond to things you do around the house. Say, for example, you learn how to say the word joko. Joko is related to chair, so put a sticky note close to your dining chair or your dining table, and when you see it, you understand, you remember immediately, like, oh, this is joko, to sit. So make it accessible everywhere you are. And tip number 4 is write. Yes. Writing is something that is very important. I say to people, the more you write, the better you become with a certain language, because writing requires you to think, and when you think, it prepares you to speak. So like the word I said earlier, too soon, when you write it down in different scenarios, don't just isolate words. Try to use it in different contexts. And you need to understand that Yoruba is a tonal language. The way you pronounce a word can make the meaning entirely different. So take note of that when you're writing. Write, how does this sound? Mo fẹ́ sùn, wọ́n ti sùn, a máa sùn. When you use it in different contexts like that, to everyday communication, everyday things that you do in your native language, it will be a lot more easier for you to remember this word. Say, for example, in your native language, you go to bed at 8 o'clock. Oh, I sleep at 8 o'clock. Put that into Yoruba. I soon at 8 o'clock. Yes, it's not a perfect sentence. Yes, it's not a complete sentence. Mix it together. As time goes on, you will gradually know, and these words will stay in your head. Okay, so make different sentences using this one word, all right? Don't just learn words in isolation. Make sure they are connected to use in a context. This will help you to remember them when you need them in the future. And another thing I would say is, don't learn too much. You don't need to go out there and learn 100 words in a day. No, there is no way you're going to remember all of that. I would say 3 to 5 words a day is balance. It's just good for you. The more you use it, the more it sticks in your head. And when they are not too much, it will be fun for you to learn. And my last tip for you today is review. I cannot stress this enough. Review is absolutely important. If you learn the words today and you use it just today, and then you put it in writing just today, and then you forget all about it, trust me, you're not going to remember. If you have learned a couple of words this week, at the end of the week, take a couple of minutes to sit down and then go back to all these words that you've learned right from the beginning of the week and try to use them in different contexts. So the more you review these words, the better they'll stick in your head. So remember the 5 tips. Learn what you need. Just what you need. Use what you learn. Use them as many times as possible. Your Yoruba do not have to be perfect. They will laugh at you, that is fine, it's part of the process, but by the time you're good, they're going to appreciate the effort you put into learning it, okay? So use what you learn. And number 3, make it accessible. That is absolutely important. Those times when you draw a blank, you can just pick up your phone and like, oh, so that's the word I'm trying to remember. It is important that you make it accessible. In number 4, write. Write as much as you can. It doesn't have to be something fancy. It doesn't have to be a novel. All you just need to do is put down simple words, simple everyday things that you do in your native language, just to help you to remember those words and to help you know how to use it in everyday conversation. And number 5, which is the last but not the least, review. The more you review, the more these words that has gone down into the deep will come back up. It will pop back up, and when you need to use them in a conversation, it will be right there waiting for you. So I hope these 5 tips helps you to remember Yoruba words easily and to be able to communicate and have conversations with them. Because mo fẹ́ máa bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ ní Yorùbá, ó wù mí pé fídíò tí mo ṣe yìí mo lè ṣe fún yín ní Yorùbá kó yé yín ká gbọ́ra wa yé. I want you to understand my lessons in Yoruba as much as possible, and hopefully soon we will communicate in Yoruba. That's it for today, my people. Thank you so much for watching this lesson. Remember to subscribe because another video is going to be coming up soon, so you don't get left out, and turn on that notification button. Okay, see you all again.